I was raised a Roman Catholic, and I really didn't serve the Lord when I was a Catholic. I didn't know Jesus as my Lord and Savior. So a time in my life, in my late 20s, I started working with this man who was a witness for the Lord. And he told me a lot about Jesus and about the Bible. And over a period of time, and through my wife's testimony, I accepted Christ as my Savior. And it was on an Easter Sunday night. I was in church, and they were having a song service. It was 1973. And at the end of the service, the pastor gave an invitation. And God was really dealing with my heart, and it's like my heart was just about pounding through my chest. And so I knew I had to accept Christ as my Savior. So I raised my hand to accept Him, and then later after the service, the pastor took me down into his study, and we went over some verses, and we prayed, but really I surrendered to the Lord when I raised my hand, I believe. Well, afterwards, we went outside. It was dark by this time, and I looked up at the sky. I was with Lori, my wife, and I could see the stars, and they all seemed to be brighter. The air seemed to be fresher, and there was this burden had been lifted off my shoulders that I've been carrying for all those years, the burden of sin. And all that was due to accepting Christ as my Savior. And so it's what the Bible calls being born again. Well, I wanted to be baptized right away, but they were working on the baptismal pool, and so I had to wait till later on that summer. And so in that church, it was Emmanuel Baptist Church, you stood up in the baptismal pool and you faced the congregation, and they had a microphone in there, and you gave your testimony. And so I was all excited about that, and so I did. I gave my testimony to the church, and I was baptized. Well, we stayed there for a few years, and then we moved to Danville. And eventually we moved our membership from the Tabernacle to Mount Hermon Baptist Church, and where we are today, and that was probably in sometime early 1987. And so some of the ministries that have been a real blessing to me, I've been involved in quite a few, but I'll just name a few, is Vacation Bible School has always been a blessing. The Good News Club has been a real blessing to me, and some of the men, Raymond Crane, myself, and Dan and Earl Glass, we were involved in the jail ministry, and that was a true blessing to us. And so all these things have helped me to grow and draw closer to the Lord. Well, the challenge that really meant a lot to me was when Danny was here and he challenged us to read through the Bible in a year. And I think it was 2012. And I did so that year, and it was really a blessing to me. And so I've managed to do it every year since then, and it's really helped me draw closer to the Lord, to learn more about Him, and be part of what He wants me to do. And the other thing that's helped me a lot is the discipleship group I'm with at Ronnie Dillon's house on Thursday evenings. That's been a true blessing to pray with other men and read the Bible and study and make comments and just enjoy the blessing of hearing their prayers answered and my prayers answered as well. So that's been a true blessing. Well, I think for me the thing of wisdom that I would share with everyone is to trust God and trust His faithfulness, because He is faithful. And God has always met our needs in the good times and the bad times. So my advice or piece of wisdom would be to trust Him fully, because He is faithful. I'd like to share a few verses from the Bible, if I may. It's in Luke chapter 4, and it's verses 5 through 8. And it's the second part of Jesus' temptation in the wilderness. And it goes like this: the devil led him up to a high place and showed him in an instant all the kingdoms of the world. And he said to him, I will give you all their authority and splendor, for it has been given to me, and I can give it to you, to anyone I want to. So if you worship me, it will all be yours. Jesus answered, it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve Him only. And another piece of advice I would have is that in my life, for many years, I served Satan, really, by seeking after the things of this world, thinking it would fulfill the desires of my heart and my soul, and it doesn't. And Jesus told us to serve Him. You see, if we run after the things of this world and try to fulfill that desire in our heart, then we are really serving Satan. We don't realize it, but it's true. And really the thing that's lacking in our heart and our soul, the thing that we're really seeking after, is a relationship with God, because He created us to have a relationship with Him. And until you do that, you will never have that desire in your heart fulfilled. So I would urge you this morning to trust Christ as your Savior and come forward and talk to Steve or some of the other staff members, and they'll show you how to be saved. And I can honestly tell you, you will never regret it. Thank you.